following program is an NBN Sports Presentation.
Merewether Carlton coming onto the field of play first for the 1979 Rugby Union Grand Final, and led out by their captain number 5, the second row forward Gary Jones, and certainly a long serving player with the Merewether Carlton side. They read number 15 at fullback Jeff Johnson. The wingers are number 11 Peter Withers and number 14 Ian Fisher. In the centres, Brian Fisher, the brother of Ian, in number 12, and 13 Gavin Stewart. The 5'8 David Young wearing number 10, of course, and the halfback Ian Harper, incidentally played first grade with Randwick in Sydney. At lock forward, Peter Prince. In the breakaway spots, Neil Skillen in number 7 and number 6 John Davis. He also played with Randwick. For the second row forward, Stephen Frost, and his partner, as I said, the captain of the Merewether Carlton side, Gary Jones. The front row forwards are number 1 Colin Drelincourt, or Drelincourt more correctly, and number 3 John White. And the hooker, David Woodcock. As many players have played for New South Wales country, in fact 4 of them in the Merewether Carlton side, and 4 other ones have also played for Newcastle. Coming onto the field of play now, the Waratahs side, and coming on first was number 1, the front row forward Brett Tills, followed on by 3 Ron Algie. We're coming from the front of this side, the forwards, the hooker number 2 is John Gibson, the second row forwards 4 Brad March and 5 John Stevenson. The breakaways 6 Michael Snape and 7 Tony Munro. The lock forward is the son of the great Cyril Burke, Paul Burke. The number 9, the halfback and captain Dominic Vaughan, is an Australian schoolboy representative. 5'8 his brother Martin Vaughan in number 10. The centres are 12 and 13 David Calcott and 13 Lindsay Dumbrell. The wing positions, number 11 Peter McPherson, of course an Australian schoolboy, and he's played for the state of New South Wales in seniors and is also a champion breech sprinter. The other winger, 14 Simon Thompson, and the fullback is Philip Wells. And with me today is the former country representative rugby union player and my old mate Johnny Young.
It's great to be at the game this afternoon, Lee. What a beautiful afternoon it is for football, and quite a big crowd here this afternoon.
My word is Merewether Carlton get the ball under play, and a bit of push and shove. It's blown into an all-inner already. The Rugby Union Grand Final of 1979, and it's on for young and old in the first 20 seconds of the match as the ball was brought into play. The fiery red of Waratah really spelling the mood for the occasion, and Merewether Carlton too, of course, having their equal part in that fight.
Lee, I think it might be the tactics of the more experienced Merewether Carlton side to try and upset the younger team of Waratah this afternoon.
Waratah's average age would only be around the early 20s. They have a couple of experienced players in Ron Algie at 31. Another player too of John Stevenson, 25. He would be the second oldest player. Other than that, they're about 19 to 22 would be the span of the players, and even as young as 18-year-old Paul Burke. And a penalty, the first one of the match, going to the Merewether Carlton side. And he's going to shoot for goal, is he? About to come in and shoot for goal. Has the ball set. Right in the centre of the halfway line, a very long one and into the breeze. Jeff Johnson, the fullback, the man, moving to the ball, right into the teeth of the breeze. Not a bad one, certainly has the distance, will go away to the right-hand side. Taken in the Waratahs in goal, and he simply puts the ball down, and the game will restart on the Waratah court away. Ball in touch on the full. Dominic Vaughan to feed this one, the Waratahs halfback. Disputed possession as it comes out of this scrum. The ball bouncing round on the ground loose now. Back to the Waratahs, a clearing kick. Into touch, a good kick by the Waratah player. Martin Vaughan, the 5'8", would be the man, I would think. Ball in touch in any regard, and the first line out of the match. Ball in from the touchline, Merewether Carlton with possession of the ball, trying to get it clear of the ruck. Forwards coming in from both sides. Now it's clear. Turned away to Harper. Out to 5'8" now, David Young. Turn on the back line now. It would be with Peter Withers, the wing three-quarter, going downfield, kicking the ball forward in towards the Waratahs in goal, where it was placed and certainly firmly behind the line by the Waratahs fullback, Philip Wells. 5-yard scrum. Harper ball in. Penalty to Merewether Carlton. Johnson moving to the ball, but the wind got hold of it all right and blew it away to the left-hand side. Possession taken by the Waratahs in their in goal, and the ball planted once more, and the Waratahs dropping out from the quarterway area. Deep downfield too, not a bad one. Chased along there by Ian Harper, the halfback, with the ball, beats him into touch, and the Waratahs, for virtually the first time in this match now, make ground within Merewether Carlton's territory. Line out to be fed by the Waratahs. David Woodcock, the man with the ball, a long throw from the touchline. Merewether Carlton going to come up with possession again, taken by 5'8" David Young. He's using the kick from in his own quarter area, and the ball goes into touch, but referee Jim Taylor putting a scrum down there for another infringement, about 15 metres out from Merewether Carlton's goal line. Fed by Dominic Vaughan. Split little half comes up with the ball away to his brother Martin Vaughan. Out wide now to David Calcott. He's kicked the ball through. Merewether Carlton in trouble there, but the ball taken by the captain Gary Jones and planted behind his own goal line, and a 5-yard scrum will go down once more, this time at the other end of the field. John, not much open football at the moment, up to this point in the match.
No, Lee, both sides are, as I said earlier, trying to still sort each other out, and, well, we've seen then Waratah winning that scrum and not using their backs to advantage, I feel.
Penalty now to Merewether Carlton, infringement in the scrum. That's been travelling 10 minutes or so. Kick taken by Carlton's fullback Johnson, and a long kick with the advantage of the breeze, and brings play outside the Merewether Carlton quarterway area, about 28 metres into the field of play from Carlton's goal line, where the line out will form once more to be fed by the Waratahs hooker Dave Woodcock. Short line out this time, and David Woodcock to throw the ball in. Turn away to Dominic Vaughan, a quick one away to his brother Martin, but referee Jim Taylor not happy with that one, and a scrum will go down in that position about 25 metres out from Merewether Carlton's goal line.
Incorrect feeding of the line out, Lee.
Ian Harper puts the ball in, but a penalty to the Waratahs. Harper putting the ball in there, and Merewether Carlton having the ball in their second row, but the penalty going to the Waratahs, and lock forward Paul Burke to shoot for goal. The number 8 putting the ball down. He's across the breeze, but at an angle, but not at a terribly different angle, although the breeze will have its effect on the ball once more. Comes in Burke, hits it, allowed for the breeze, the ball's coming back, and up go the flags. Yes, sir. The Waratahs first to score, and the Waratahs go to a 3-0 lead over Merewether Carlton in the grand final. Scrum going down, Dominic Vaughan to feed. The Waratahs need possession here if they get more points on the board, and they have the ball firmly locked in their scrum. Dominic Vaughan picks it up, turned it away to his brother. Now wide into the Waratah centre with Lindsay Dumbrell. It's a reverse move back to fullback Wells, but he's gone without the ball, and the ball bouncing towards touch. Well, this is the grandstand side and goes out of play. The Waratahs to get the game underway once more from this line out. Gibson now with the ball in, the Waratahs possession. Dominic Vaughan, the long pass to Martin Vaughan. Away to centre three-quarter David Calcott to Lindsay Dumbrell. Coming hard onto the ball was the breakaway Michael Snape, but his progress was stopped by the Merewether Carlton side. Came up with the ball. In fact, front row forward Colin Drillincourt with the ball, turned it away to a teammate, but he's claimed by the Waratahs. And the ruck forms, looking for the ball. Dominic Vaughan has it, but the referee Jim Taylor not happy with that one, and the scrum will go down on this occasion about only 25, maybe 26 metres out from Merewether Carlton's goal line, with the score still Waratahs 3, Merewether Carlton 0. Ian Harper to feed, with the Waratahs coming up with possession. Vaughan turned it away to the representative state winger Peter McPherson. He went nowhere but got possession away. Turned into the back line now to David Calcott. Away, he turned it inside beautifully there to Martin Vaughan. Martin Vaughan turning it away to Philip Wells, and Wells will score. The Waratahs over for the first try of the match. That takes them to 7-0 over Merewether Carlton. Are they going to repeat the 22-0 drubbing that they handed Carlton's in the major semi-final? The Waratahs then sparking into the back line, coming along to Martin Vaughan, made the break beautifully, was backed up there inside by the fullback Philip Wells, and Wells has gone over really without a hand laid on him, and the Waratahs away to the first try of the match and a good lead, 7-0 with a kick to come. Paul Burke, the man trying for the conversion. Paul Burke, unlike his father, is a very robust big fellow. His father, of course, the great international Cyril Burke. Comes in Paul Burke and puts the extra points on the board. And the score now goes to the Waratahs 9, Merewether Carlton 0 at number 2 Sports Ground in the 1979 Rugby Union Grand Final. "15 minutes before half-time, and fullback Jeff Johnson gets the game underway, and taken by Phil Wells, the Waratahs fullback, going to use the kick and drives it deep downfield and puts the ball into touch. Good play from Phil Wells, and bringing a round of applause from this big crowd here to watch the grand final. The line out to go down just inside Carlton's territory.
87-31.
Carlton's coming up with possession of the line as Davis turned it away to Ian Harper to David Young. To centre three-quarter it would be Gavin Stewart. Turned it away to Brian Fisher, the kick downfield. Taken by the Waratahs fullback Philip Wells, replying with a kick, and quite a good one up into this breeze. Under the ball for Merewether Carlton's is the number 9 Ian Harper. Gathered the ball, now made a little bit of ground, trying the kick over the top. Taken by the Waratahs, David Calcott. Turned away this time to centre three-quarter, Lindsay Dumbrell. He turned it wider, backing up Calcott, now to Paul Burke. Trying to get inside a player, beautiful pass back this time. And the Waratahs pouring on the pressure now. It's with centre three-quarter, Lindsay Dumbrell. The ball going down from Dumbrell though. And the game held up with the Waratahs with possession in the back line. Looked too much for Merewether Carlton in sheer speed and ability to beat a man. Carlton's Ian Harper to feed, in goes the ball. Penalty to the Merewether Carlton side. Infringement there, and the Merewether Carlton side will kick towards touch on this, the grandstand side. And fullback Johnson, who has proved to be very powerful even into the breeze with a kick, will certainly be a danger in the second half as far as making territory is concerned. He puts the ball into touch, and yet another line out will fall. Gibson, the long one in this time. Waratahs making ground upfield, trying to get it back to a teammate. The ball taken, swung away this time to Martin Vaughan. Away into the Waratahs back line to David Calcroft. Wider now, backing up as the breakaway. Michael Snape coming onto the ball, throwing it around well, the Waratahs. Now turning it back, coming onto the ball, wide now. It would be the big number 7 making ground upfield, Tony Munro. He loses possession of the ball as the Merewether Carlton players hem him in, and the ball goes into touch. And the Waratahs to feed the line out.
Already, Lee, it's evident that the Merewether Carlton forwards are starting to tire the Waratah team, running them off their feet at this point.
7 or 8 minutes before half-time. John Gibson moves the ball in. Taken by the number 7 for Waratahs, Tony Munro. He gives it away to Martin Vaughan, but Vaughan's immediately claimed by the Merewether Carlton players there, and a ruck forms. Carlton's come up with possession. Yes, they do. Ian Harbour, David Young, but the penalty to Merewether Carlton. Infringement in the ruck there, and Carlton's coming up with possession. And no doubt Johnson, Captain Gary Jones deciding to tap and get going. Now to Johnson, turned away to Ian Harper, backed up David Young's gone without the ball, picked up by Peter McPherson, the state player, the kick through by McPherson. Will it be too long? Will it go dead? McPherson very quickly, of course, a beach sprinter of some note, but the ball goes dead before he can get to it. But quite good play there. If the kick had stood up for him, Merewether Carlton will gain possession on their own quarterway. David Young, the drop. Ball bouncing around loose. Carlton's picked it up with Davis there, trying to get the ball back to teammates. Fight for possession. Harper came up with it, was tackled as he got the ball away. Now it's with David Young to Brian Fisher. He's gone without the ball, looking for the gap before he got hold of the ball. And the ball's been knocked on and the scrum will go down.
Can't do a thing right, Carlton, Lee, with good possession then. They had the ball along their backs, but Brian Fisher looking at the man coming through instead of following that ball.
Dominic Vaughan to feed the scrum. Has possession of the ball, can't get the clean pass away. His brother Martin picks it up, the high kick up and down, and Waratahs pouring through after it. David Young not keen on the ball. Now he gathers the ball, but it's held there by the Waratahs. Ball tried to be picked up by Paul Burke and was brilliantly turned into a teammate, but he's gone without the ball and eventually kicked into touch. Sweet Taylor going to put a scrum down, but still deep in Merewether Carlton's territory, only about 8 or 9 metres out from their goal line. And they're trailing 9-0 of the Carltons at the moment, with Ian Harper to put this ball in. Going to be won by the Waratahs. Dominic Vaughan not picking it up cleanly. So he kicked it into touch, and the line out will form with Carlton to feed. Carlton's coming up with possession. Player immediately claimed by the Waratahs though. Now it's back to Ian Harper, back to Jeff Johnson, and the kick as usual, and the ball out of play. Carlton's coming up with possession with the man claimed. Now it goes back to Harper, a bit of a wide one, he did well to gather it. Now he kicks for touch on this, the grandstand flank. Puts the ball out to midway between the half and quarterway line. Still in Merewether Carlton's territory. John Gibson brings the ball back into play. Waratahs forwards seem to go a bit early there. The ball bouncing back to Gibson. Touch judge going with the signal for ball out of play once more. Waratahs with the ball, Dominic Vaughan away to Martin Vaughan now. Into the back line to David Calcott. Makes a little bit of a break. Backed up though, the ball going free now, but picked up by a teammate. It would be fullback Wells. Tried to get the pass away, intercepted by a Merewether Carlton player, but the game pulled up anyway and the scrum will go down. Harper with the ball in the scrum, going to be won by the Waratahs, Dominic Vaughan. Turn away to Martin Vaughan, a high kick now downfield. Will it go into touch on the full? Bounces just inside touch. Merewether Carlton going to pick it up through wing three-quarter Peter Withers and takes the ball into play right on half-time. Free Jim Taylor as he called half-time. He has, and the score at half-time in the 1979 Rugby Union Grand Final, the Waratahs 9, Merewether Carlton 0.
The Waratahs team, number 5, John Stevenson, has been replaced by number 17, Mark Johnson.
Waratahs with possession of the ball, just losing player John Stevenson off injured, and Mark Johnson going on to replace Stevenson, the number 5, and Johnson wearing the number 17 jumper. Merriweather Carlton once more coming up with possession. With the ball knocked on, going free. This referee Taylor calling them back and will put a scrum down. Dominic Vaughan putting the ball in for the Waratahs. Seem to have possession, they do. Turn away to Martin Vaughan. Away this time to David Calcott. The little kick over the top, taken by the Carltons' number 11, Peter Withers. Replying with a kick. Philip Wells, the Waratahs fullback, overlooking for possession of the ball, but can't gather it. And the ball into touch, about 15 metres only from the Waratahs' goal line.
Wells took that very casually, Lee. He had plenty of time to get across to that ball and just stood and watched it run into touch.
Waratahs coming up with possession of the ball from that line out. Ball towed through by Merewether Carlton though, deep towards the Waratahs line, but the ball bouncing from a player and going into touch on the far side, just the metres out from the Waratah corner post. Be fed by Merewether Carlton, this line out. Carlton with the ball, Davis trying to charge their way over the line, but referee Taylor stopping the play. Dominic Vaughan gets play underway, ball in the scrum, picks it up, turned it back to fullback Wells, kicking out from within his goal area. Merewether Carlton's Peter Withers was the ball, turning it to Jeff Johnson. Away this time to the number 14, Ian Fisher, but he's gone without the ball. Ball loose, picked up by Merewether, the Waratahs, Lindsay Dumbrell, kicking the ball downfield. Now let's see McPherson's pace. He's not chasing the ball really. Mark Johnson, the new man on, is. Also the breakaway for Waratahs, Michael Snape, with the ball picked up by Johnson. The Merewether Carlton fullback and kicked into touch on his own quarterway or just outside that area. Carlton getting the ball possession but unable to knock it back cleanly, and the Waratahs players keeping them hemmed in the rucking area. Penalty to the Waratahs after all that. No territory made really by either side, and one of the Waratahs players, the breakaway, Michael Snape, appearing to be roughly treated on the ground there. Penalty going to the Waratahs, a man being spoken to. Is Michael Snape going down injured now?
Red, go red, red.
Paul Burke from near the touchline into the breeze. Comes in, hits it. Not a bad looking one. Will it get the points? Just falls short. The Waratahs pouring through looking for possession. Merewether Carlton a bit slow to get onto that ball. The Waratahs, the game held up. The Waratahs had possession there. They could have been very, very dangerous. Right close to the Merewether Carlton line, but referee Jim Taylor putting a scrum down. Carlton's Ian Harper, back to Johnson, the fullback. He's kicking to touch on this, the grandstand side of the ground. Finds touch quite comfortably. Waratahs with possession, Dominic Vaughan going without it. Now he's got possession of the ball, but the Merewether Carlton players hem him in. Still with possession, the Waratahs, but referee Taylor not happy with that one. Ian Harper back to Jeff Johnson once more. Uses the kick. Harper for Merewether Carlton. Finds a little bit of room. Back to Peter Prince. Prince trying to get the ball away, was tackled and lost possession of the ball. Waratahs appearing to claim possession. Now Carlton's come away with it though. Making ground downfield now. Picked up, turned away to Ian Harper, making a bit of ground. Back to John Davis. He unloads the ball to the Merewether Carlton second rower, Steve Frost, now along the back line to Brian Fisher, but Fisher claimed, and referee Taylor calling the game to a standstill once more. And the scrum will go down in this position. Jono, this game has really gone to a walk.
Yes, Lee, very scrappy at present. And again, we notice Merewether Carlton coming up with that ball, had plenty of time and opportunity to unload it along their back line, but again, play broke down. They've been in a position many times to score tries, but they can't win the vital scrum when they're in the position to go over and score.
Dominic Vaughan, Batka Martin Vaughan from that scrum. The kick into no man's land. It's going to be taken by Carlton's Peter Withers, although the ball eludes him. Now he picks it up, turn it back to Jeff Johnson. Simple knock on there by Jeff Johnson, and referee Taylor moves straight to the mark. And Carlton's, well, that sort of football could be here all day to score a try, I would think.
Both players, Lee, Withers and also Johnson, taking it very easy, then letting the ball bounce instead of picking it up on the first bounce. Withers let it bounce back towards his own line, and as if he had all day to play the game. Time's running out too.
Merewether Carlton's back line has been anything but brilliant this afternoon. They've put the ball down practically every player on occasions. Dominic Vaughan's clearing the scrum. Turns it back to Lindsay Dumbrell. Dumbrell trying to make ground. Found no room through there. Trying to get his teammates to back up now. The ball is driven downfield by the Carltons. Philip Wells, the Waratahs. Fullback with possession. Kicking the ball across field. Taken by Brian Fisher. This could be interesting. Turned the ball back in field to David Young. But it was a forward pass, referee Jim Taylor onto that one. Appearing to be forward too, as the man calling inside of him was certainly just that whisker forward or ran into that position. And the scrum goes down. Waratahs coming up with possession, keeping it in close there. Mark Johnson, the new man on the field of play, gathering the ball, but picked up by Gary Jones, turning along the Carlton back line. Now to Brian Fisher, kicking down towards the corner. Has the winger Withers chasing the ball bouncing, eluding Philip Wells, but Wells gets hold of it and places the ball behind his own try line, stopping play and bringing him to a 5-yard scrum or 5-metre scrum from the Waratahs goal. And Waratahs lead 9-0. Ian Harper picks the ball up, turn it away to David Young. Out wide, but Carlton's once more putting the ball down in an attacking position. Claimed by them though, but the Waratahs driving them back, looking for possession. The Waratahs coming up with possession too through Lindsay Dumbrell. Tries to make a bit of ground up field, but claimed by the Carltons, who get back now onside. Waratahs certainly looking more snappy in the back line this afternoon. Referee Taylor calling the game to a standstill, and a game that's been a succession of drop balls, scrums and mauls really, with very little open play. When it has gone into the Carltons backline, they've been anything but other than ordinary, and the Waratahs looking quite sharp in their backline when they've had possession. With the result that it's 9-0 in favour of the Waratahs, with about 20 minutes to go in the 1979 Rugby Union Grand Final. Waratahs with possession, immediately claimed though, although Dominic Vaughan breaks the tackle, makes about a 5-metre gain, still in possession of the ball. Can he clear the ruck? The Waratahs certainly have the back line to do it if they can get into the open, but Merewether Carlton going to, in this ruck it would appear, referee Taylor giving a close eye. Yes, Carlton's won. The ruck was immediately claimed though, and the penalty goes to Merewether Carlton. Harper, the man coming up with the ball, was claimed by the Waratahs. A couple of them in there close. Brad DeMarch, one of them, second row forward. Jeff Johnson to shoot for goal for Merewether Carlton. Can they get off the mark? Hits it. Certainly just has the distance. Up go the flags. And Merewether Carlton registers their first points of the match. The Waratahs lead 9 points to 3 with about 18 minutes to go. Play underway once more. Wells, the Waratahs fullback, kicking deep down into Carlton's territory where Jeff Johnson gathers the ball cleanly. Going to kick for this, the grandstand touch, and puts the ball out just short of the halfway line in his own territory. Waratahs with possession. Dominic Horn, a beautiful pass away to his brother. Referee Taylor not happy.
3-1, Reg, in favour of Waratah against the hit.
Carlton's with possession from this scrum. Ian Harbour. David Young, the one over the top, but it's not going to go the required distance. Lindsay Drumbull under it comfortably enough. Goes down, loses possession of the ball. Carlton pick it up through Ian Harbour. Now they're running into a bit of daylight. John Davis running into the daylight. Turns it away to the Merriweather Carlton number 7, Neil Skillen going downfield. Back in field now to Ian Fisher. Kicks towards away from touch, but taken by the Waratahs. And the day saved there for Waratah. Merriweather Carlton, that would be their most enterprising backline run of the match. Going deep down towards the corner, but unable to get the ball down for the try. Waratahs covering quite well there. Harbour now, Merriweather Carlton with possession. Maybe they can do something. David Young was a bad one along the ground. Picked up by Gavin Stewart. Turned away to Brian Fisher, but he's gone back into play. He'll be held over the Waratahs. Now it's cleared. Ian Harbour. Away this time to Gavin Stewart once more. To Peter Withers. Running into the clear now. Withers. He has Gavin Stewart with him. Stewart will go over and score in the corner. Gavin Stewart for the Merriweather Carlton. Scoring in the corner. And Carlton's in the last couple of moments have come alive in their back line. And on that occasion threw it along their back line quite well. Gavin Stewart, the man that really made the try. He got the move going. Then backed up round his teammate Peter Withers. Got the ball back. Withers did well to run to the corner, draw the full back to him, then turn it away to Gavin Stewart, and Stewart's gone over in the corner. And Merriweather Carltons now bring this game to life. A score at the moment, 9 points to 7 in favour of the Waratahs. And the Carltons kicker, Jeff Johnson, can even scores with this kick for goal, and he has the breeze at his tail. Comes to the ball, Johnson, not a bad looking one. Up go the flags, it's 9-all with 15 minutes to go in the grand final. Waratahs 9, Merriweather Carlton 9. Moments ago, John, 5 minutes ago in fact, Merriweather Carlton appearing to be no chance as Waratahs led 9-0, and now Merriweather Carlton in the twinkling of an eye almost back into this game.
Although they've been planted down in the Waratah territory for most of this second half, Lee, they have the breeze behind them and they're using the breeze to advantage.
Ian Harbour now doing just that, kicking the ball downfield, failing to find touch. Peter McPherson, the man with the quick legs. Oh, good hard, solid tackle there by Harbour, knocking backwards. He lost possession of the ball for the Waratahs now. A little bit on the defensive, trying to pick up possession as Carlton's starting to get into their stride a little bit. Possession of this ruck is vital. Referee Jim Taylor calling the game to a halt. Waratah scrum, the dive past Dominic Vaughan to Martin Vaughan. This time back to the number 12, it would be David Calcott. But he's tried the kick over the top, it didn't work, and Merriweather Carlton charging it down. In a good position here if they can get possession of the ball as their backline really started to function. Now Harbour with the ball, turning it away to the Merriweather Carlton. Neil Skillen, the breakaway, tried to make ground himself, was claimed by the Waratahs. Now Harbour to David Young. The high one once more, testing the Waratahs' catching ability. Peter McPherson not under that one very well at all, and the ball going, bouncing into touch, and McPherson seemingly on one leg at the moment.
He took that hard tackle earlier there, Lee, and it certainly sent him backwards. It was a good solid tackle by the breakaway Ian Harbour. I'm sorry, the halfback it was.
Ball in the scrum, Carlton's Ian Harbour. David Young trying to find room through there. Out of Brian Fisher, away to the fullback Jeff Johnson. He's trying to find room, got the ball back to Fisher. Fisher throws the dummy, tries to go straight and through them. Found too many of the Waratahs there and was claimed by them. Carlton's in a strong position if they can get the ball back from this ruck. Referee Taylor, though, says lock ball and will go to the scrum.
A great position here for Carlton for an attempted field goal. They can win this scrum.
Penalty to the Merewether Carlton from that scrum, and this could be the match for them. Jim Johnson up close. The Waratahs supporters were all joy about 5 or 10 minutes ago, and now the penalty going to the Merewether Carlton side. Jeff Johnson, at least the man about to take the kick. Jeff Johnson coming over. Johnson has it set. A simple position even with this breeze. Comes to the ball, kicks it, hit the post and came back into play. What a sensation. Johnson picked it up okay. Give it away this time to John Davis going down the line. Turned the ball back in field to a teammate now. The Merewether Carlton's on the attack. Ian Harper. David Young through the dummy, almost found the room, but turned the ball away to the Waratahs player in there close. It was the front row forward, Ron Algie. He was lucky to be there too, as Merewether Carlton looking good on that occasion. Ruck forming now, Merewether Carlton if they can get possession. Harper going in to give a bit of extra weight, looking for the ball. Referee Taylor calling it to a standstill, and Merewether Carlton in the last 5 or 10 minutes have come alive, have evened the score and now look to be the side to beat. In fact, they've been planted down in the Waratahs territory, and Merewether Carlton's going far, far better than they have at any stage of this match. Discretionary penalty there to the Waratahs, relieving the pressure from them too. As Merewether Carlton right down there, only needed possession of that scrum to be close enough to be dangerous. Philip Wells, the Waratahs fullback, going to kick for touch on this, the grandstand flank. Does do, and not a bad one either, making ground right upfield, made about a 20-25 metre gain there to midway between the half and quarterway line on the Waratahs end of the field. Dave Woodcock from Merewether Carlton to get the game underway with the throw from the sideline. Carlton's with the ball, turned back to Harper, going to kick downfield, a high one, allowing his players to run onto the ball. Bouncing ball, will Waratahs all charge through, but the discretionary penalty there. The scrum going down at least. Referee Taylor putting a scrum down. Merewether Carlton's here, John, have looked good in the last 5 or 10 minutes. They can get possession against the head in the scrum. Yes,
Lee, they're certainly playing much better football, and they're starting to use their backs a little bit more too.
Waratahs possession, Dominic Vaughan picking it up and kicking downfield. Under the ball, Jeff Johnson. Now he turns it away to the Merewether Carlton wing three-quarter Ian Fisher. Fisher kicking downfield. Philip Wells, the Waratahs fullback, takes it cleanly. Replies with a kick and taken just inside touch there by Harper. Penalty to the Waratahs. They were inside the area. Offside players too close to Ian Harper. Jeff Johnson's going to shoot for goal, is he? Yes, going to shoot for goal, Jeff Johnson, from quite a distance out and across the breeze. This is not an easy one. He hit the post with the last one. In fact, the last one could have put them in the lead. They're 9-all, Waratahs and the Carltons. And Jeff Johnson, maybe this is the one he can win the match with about 7 minutes to go.
Well within his range, Lee. I seen him kick last week and put one over, which would be virtually in the same position as this on the opposite side of the field, and never looked like missing. All the way it went, so let's hope for Jeff Johnson that he can put this one over for Merewether Carlton.
Johnson moves the ball, an important kick. Looks a good one as the breeze got hold of it all right, but it's going to fall just short under the right-hand side. Waratahs fullback just bringing the Carlton players up to him, puts the ball down behind his own line. Waratahs with possession, forced to drop this ball though. Does do, and a deep one downfield now into no man's land. Going back onto the ball as the Merriweather Carlton centre three-quarter Brian Fisher picks it up. Turn it to wing three-quarter Peter Withers, back to Fisher. Can he make ground? No, he's claimed. The Waratahs coming in. The ball coming free to Merewether Carlton. Picked up by John Davis. He's charged down by the Waratahs too. And the ball locked in there somewhere. Possession's vital. Waratahs coming up with it. Dominic Vaughan. Can the Tars backline go? Turned away this time to a teammate backing him up, but can't get the ball away. And the Waratahs really not backing the man up very well on that occasion. Centre three-quarter, David Calcott it was. Came out Carlton's way from the ruck this time. Picked up by Mark Johnson on the kick through by David Young. Going downfield, turning to Peter McPherson. Can he get clear McPherson? Give it away to Mark Johnson. Tucked the head down. Charged through the tackle. Gone without the ball though. And referee Jim Taylor stopping the game. And the Waratahs showing a little bit of the fire that was expected of them by their large support here this afternoon. They led 9-0. Now it's 9-all. Harbour to feed. He has the possession of the ball, immediately knocked over by the breakaway from Waratah. Michael Snape, the ball kicked up and down as a result. The Waratahs, Mark Johnson with possession of the ball, but referee Jim Taylor once more calls the play to a halt. Carlton's with possession. Harbour on the narrow side. Turned the ball away. Penalty to Merewether Carlton though. Man offside, Peter McPherson, the wing three-quarter, the man adjudged to have been in an offside position, and Carlton's will no doubt kick towards this grandstand flank once more. Jeff Johnson to do just that.
Interestingly, if they do go into extra time, the younger, possibly fitter Waratah side would possibly be to the advantage.
Maybe that's the way it will be as the ball's put into touch, and a good kick by Jeff Johnson. Nothing really to shoot at. Got it down the line. The wind did the rest. And the line out's about 25 metres out from the Waratahs goal line. Merewether Carlton's possession. Ball coming down to Harbour, but Waratah hands through there, knocking it free, and the ball just speculated into touch. Scrum to be formed. Up with the ball, David Young, kick through. First on the wing three-quarter in there close, gathers the ball on his own goal line. Now to make a run upfield. Charge through one tackle, still going McPherson, throwing the ball clear as he goes to the ground. The ball towed through by the Waratahs, but referee Jim Taylor stopping the game once more, and another scrum will form. Merewether Carlton's ball, drop shot for goal, waved away, and the ball will go dead behind the Waratahs line. Game to restart on the Waratahs quarter away, and in the last quarter of an hour it's been really all Carlton's. Waratahs have had the ball and looked good on one occasion only, and there goes what appears to be full time. That is full time. A pretty even game. Waratahs certainly on top in the first half. Merewether Carlton coming back into it. The final score, Merewether Carlton 9, the Waratahs 9, joint title holders in the Rugby Union in 1979.